and with the dana, always inclined towards, the spiritual happiness. And that's why the jhanas help. You're saying this. You kind of secluded away from any worldly happiness. You're secluded away from any unwholesome states. So once you brighten your minds with the dana, then use it to move forward into, bhavana, developing the mind in meditation. And also, that's not an end in itself. To move that forward, to develop the panya, that liberates. Okay? So that's one where he says, okay, not to stop short with just dana. And here, dana, you're giving people and beings material thing. But sila is also a gift to other beings around us in terms of freedom from fear, freedom from, anxiety. The person will steal from you. You don't have to worry. You can leave them in your house. If everybody follows the 5 precepts, we wouldn't have so much anxiety around people breaking in, people lying to you, taking your things. And when people say some things, if you're always truthful and stick to that, then there's that trust behind. You're giving people fear from anxiety. Because what you say is always true. They don't have to worry and start to, proliferate over what does he mean or she means when she says this. Is this, as it appears. So it's also a gift. Here's this, okay. There are further amongst these 5 gifts, pristine, of long-standing, traditional, ancient, unadulterated, and never before adulterated, that are not being adulterated, that will not be adulterated, not despised by wise ascetics and Brahmins. And what are these 5 gifts? Here amongst, a noble disciple gives up the destruction of life and abstains from it. By abstaining from the destruction of life, the noble disciples give to immeasurable beings freedom from fear, hostility, and oppression. By giving to immeasurable beings freedom from fear, hostility, and oppression, he himself will enjoy immeasurable freedom from fear, hostility, and oppression. This is the first of those great gifts of the 4th stream of merit. See, sila is also along the line of giving, just a different kind of giving. Okay? And he goes on to say the same with the gives up taking what is not given, abstains from sexual misconduct, abstains from false speech, and from wines, liquor, and intoxicants. Okay, so basically in conclusion, the merits of giving to the Sangha of monks and nuns is much higher than that even to the most exalted monks or nuns, or even to the Buddha. So always kind of, like I said, to keep that in mind when we are inclining towards giving the Sangha of monks or nuns anything. And second is to exercise some discernment in terms of the type of gift, appropriateness of whether it's good. It's going to help the monk or nuns to live a simple life. It's going to help the monks or nuns or the Sangha to incline towards simplicity, contentment with little. Or it's going to complicate things more. Computers are nice, but I think we have about 5 computers already in the monastery. And in the future things are going that way, but, it's always, to have a trade-off that, we're trying to, simplify our life. And computer always, I think is huge, gift from Mara. It promises so much, like sensuality promises so much, it makes your life so easy. So many things you can do. But I've been around computers enough to know that it usually takes about 5 to 10 times more time than you think. And it's going to be 15 minutes. 5 hours later, you're still doing it. So, that's something as a monk, we have to keep, I'm just saying this for myself, to be very wary of. And also, like I said, don't stop at just, dana. There is sila, that you always purify the 5 precepts. We always do more. And then, also, on certain days, it inclines when you go to the monastery or on Uposatha days, to keep the 8 precepts. Because when you start to meditate, you know that, sense restraint is there to help the meditation. It's not just rites and ritual. It's not an act of asceticism to, show off to others. But it's an act of going inward. An act of allowing the energy of the mind to build up when we're not going outside, when we're not talking. It just helps the practice of meditation. It helps, with the clarity of insight that we can derive from the samadhi. Okay. And finally, to caution regarding the gains, honors, and fame. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, this is one, the insight. Remember, the name of the game here is just not dana and not sila, but it's panya, it's bhavana. It's only through wisdom, insight, that we can cut through the delusion. It's only through insight that we really free ourselves from the suffering, see the Four Noble Truths, and be finished with all this. Okay? So, this one is in the Buddha's word again, and insight surpasses all. Buddha again is talking to Anatta Pindika. In the past householder, there was a Brahma named Vailama. He gave such great alms offer as this: 84,000 bowls of gold filled with silver, 84,000 bowls of silver filled with gold, 84,000 bronze bowls filled with bullions, 84,000 elephants, chariots, cows, maidens, and couches, many millions of fine cloths, and indescribable amounts of food, drink, oil, and bedding. As great as was the alms offerings of the Brahman Vailama gave, it would be even more fruitful if one would feed a single person possessed of right view. Right view here is a coded word for stream enterer. Okay? So as great as the Brahman Vailama's alms offering was, and though one would feed 100 persons possessed of right view, it would be more fruitful if one could feed a single once returner. And he goes on to once returner, non-returner, an arahant, Pacceka Buddha, and the perfect enlightened Buddha. Okay, so saying how great it is just to feed these different individuals. But he doesn't stop there. It would be more fruitful if one were to feed the Sangha of monks headed by the Buddha, and build a monastery for the sake of the Sangha of the Four Quarters. So the Sangha of the Four Quarters is on top of everything. Because, like I said before, it's infrastructure to create, allow monks of the past to practice, monks in the present to practice, and monks in the future to come. Okay? As long as you keep the infrastructure alive, then Buddhism is still alive. Sometimes the teaching may be corrupt, but it will allow for someone in the future to always go back to the teaching, always practice the right way, the direct way, and realize for themselves. As long as the infrastructure is here, well, think about it, there's no monastery, then all that is not possible. Okay? But, so the highest gift, in terms of gift, is building a monastery for the sake of the Sangha of the Four Quarters. But he goes on to say, it would be even more fruitful with a trusting mind one would go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, and would undertake the 5 precepts: abstaining from the destruction of life, of taking what is not given, from sexual misconduct, from false speech, and from the use of intoxicants. And as great as all this might be, it would be even more fruitful if one would develop a mind of loving kindness, even for the time it takes to pull a cow's udder. See, so it's all about the development of the mind. Dana is just the start of it. And once we brighten the mind, shouldn't stop there. Continue to use it in terms of, to bring up thoughts of loving kindness. And then the final one. But I think, I asked Ajahn Brahmali this back then, and he said it's just not like, okay, I like everybody, may all beings be well. I think it has more to be deep in that. I think it's this kind of loving kindness that comes from deep samadhi, jhana state or something. And that will have much more effect than the 5 precepts and the refuges, and any gift you can make to the Sangha. And as great as all this might be, this is the summation, the peak of all this. It would be more fruitful still if one would develop the perception of impermanence just for the time it takes to snap one's finger. That is the highest. So it's always about panya, about mind development, Buddhism, right? So all that, whenever we're giving, always inclining towards that. So, the coarse material gift, and then the mental gift. And then, bring that inwards. Use the power, the energy, and the happiness from giving to always purify our own minds. And then you cut through the delusion once and for all.